Hi, I'm George Levy for Bitsonline. Have you been asking yourself why Bitcoin transaction fees have gotten so expensive? In this video, I'll explain to you why. Stay tuned.
If you can recall the old days of Bitcoin, where you could send Bitcoin to anybody around the world for practically free, you may recall that there was a really interesting meme that was posted in 2014 where the Bitcoin community mocked Western Union over the fact that Western Union presented sending $50 for $5 as a very good deal. Well, Bitcoin mocked Western Union by saying that sending Bitcoin could send any amount for practically nothing, and you could pick it up anywhere. Now, the key thing about Bitcoin was that back then that was reality, and you could send any amount of Bitcoin, not just $50, and send it for practically nothing. In fact, many transactions could get confirmed for absolutely nothing, and you get your transactions confirmed with no transaction fees at all. But times have changed dramatically. And there's a very good article that was published on Bitsonline written by John Southurst, where John actually put Bitcoin to the test and tried to see what it would take to send $50 using the Bitcoin of nowadays and tried to compare it to the days of old. Now, what's interesting is that John actually conducted a full experiment. And what he did was he attempted to send $50 by using his Trezor wallet. And what he saw is that the recommended transaction fee for sending $50 was $11.49. That was for a normal fee. If in fact you wanted to get your transaction guaranteed within approximately 20 minutes, it would cost $12.59 in transaction fees. And that's actually an astronomical number compared to what Bitcoin was always. Now all of a sudden, that $5 for $50 doesn't seem like such a bad deal. But here's what's interesting about this is that when you really look at the actual stats, when you look at today and you look at the actual transaction fee, the average is $32.07. So all of a sudden, the $12 that John was being quoted several days before doesn't seem so bad. And the key reason is that, as you can see on this site that actually tracks the average transaction fee, what you'll see is that with the increased interest and usage of Bitcoin, the transaction fees have been growing exponentially until reaching right now $32.07 as of the time of this recording. But here's what's interesting about it all. Bitcoin knew this in advance. And in fact, there was a huge battle, which was the scaling debate, which actually was supposed to have been already resolved. And that was back when segregated witness was activated and added to the Bitcoin network. And in fact, when segregated witness was actually added into the Bitcoin network, it was supposed to solve all of this bottleneck that's happening right now with Bitcoin. But when we really look at the actual stats usage of Bitcoin, what you find is that Bitcoin, with all the increased interest, is averaging around 391,000 transactions per day. Now, these are the transactions that have been confirmed in the last 24 hours. But the numbers you're not seeing is that there are over 107 megabytes worth of transactions waiting to be confirmed. What that means is that these are transactions that have not been included in the transactions per day and are simply just sitting there waiting to be confirmed. Now, the reason why the fees are so high is that if you want to stand any chance of actually having your transactions confirmed and included in the daily transactions, you have to find a way to have your transaction included in one of the few blocks that actually gets added to the Bitcoin blockchain. And what you find is that right now the average block size on the Bitcoin blockchain is 1.07 megabytes. And while that is an increase over the 1 megabyte block size that was before segregated witness was activated, you're still only seeing an increase of 0.07 megabytes being added on top of that. What that means is that the average block size is not being able to fit all of the transactions that need to be included for Bitcoin to continue. So in order for people to be able to add their transactions and have them confirmed, the only way they can get around that is by paying incremental fees to get the miners to give preferential treatment to their transactions. Now, let's look at another stat that actually puts all of this in context and one of the key reasons why this average block size is still so low. And one of the key reasons is that when we really look at all of the transactions, and this is a different view of all the transactions taking place in Bitcoin, what you find is that in the month of December, there have been over 7.73 million transactions so far. In November, you had 9.34 million transactions. But what you find is that of those 7.73 million transactions right now, when we look at the number of transactions that are actually using segregated witness, only 843,000 are actually using segregated witness. And the reason for this is that segregated witness is a soft fork. And what that means is that not every single transaction needs to use segregated witness. As a result, many of the transactions, in fact, the brunt of the transactions, are not using segregated witness. And what that means is that the blocks are not being able to take advantage of the increased space that can be added by using segregated witness. And as we look at this current situation, what we find is that right now, in the near future, we can probably expect to see these transaction fees continue increasing. And that will bring us right back to the fact that right now, Western Union is not looking like such a bad alternative.
Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, I invite you to leave them below. Also, if you have not subscribed, I invite you to subscribe and click like, as we publish brand new videos on a regular basis with a lot more information on cryptocurrency. Until next time, I'm George Levy for Bitsonline, where cryptocurrency and technology media meet the future. Thank you for watching.